ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तः शान्तः शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थविद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो
नत्वा
श्रीभारतीतीर्थः विद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये
अधीमहे
अधीमहे
पञ्चदशीं
कैवल्यपदसिद्धये
पञ्चमहाभूत विवेक प्रकरणे अष्टषष्टितम श्लोकः 68। सद्वस्त्वधिकृत्वात् धर्मिभ्यो नस्तु धर्मथा।
सद्वस्त्वधिकवृत्तित्वात् धर्मिभ्यो नस्तु धर्मताम्
धिया सतपृथक्कारे ब्रूहि व्योम किमात्मकम्।
धिया सतः पृथक्कारे ब्रूहि व्योम किमात्मकम्।
अवकाशात्मकं तच्चेदसत्तदिति चिन्त्यताम्।
अवकाशात्मकं तच्चेदसत् इति चिन्त्यताम्।
भिन्नं सतो सच्चनेति वक्षि चेद्व्याहतिस्तव।
भिन्नं सतो सच्चनेति भक्षि चेद्व्याहतिस्तव
भातीति चेद्धातु नाम भूषणं मायिकस्य तत्
भातीति चेद्धातु नाम भूषणं मायिकस्य तत्
यदसद्भासमानं तन्मिथ्या स्वप्नगजातिवत्
यत् सद्भावसमानं तन्मिथ्या स्वप्नगजादिवत्
धिया पृथक्कारे सतः व्योम पृथक्कारे सतः पृथक्कारे सद्वस्तुनः पृथक्कारे सति व्योम किमात्मकम् तद्वद तद्ब्रूहि धिया बुद्ध्या सतः सद्वस्तुनः पृथक्कारे सद्वस्तुनः पृथक्कारे वदतु व्योम किमात्मकम् आकाशे किम् अवशिष्यते पृथक्कारे सतः पृथक्कारे आकाशे सत्वम् आकाशस्य सत्वम् सतः सति आकाशे सत्वम् इदानीं सतः पृथक्कारे बुद्ध्या पृथक्कारे सद्वस्तुनः पृथक्कारे सति कीदृशं व्योम भवति व्योम किमात्मकम् आकाशे किम् अवशिष्यते इति प्रश्नः अवकाशात्मकं तत् इति चेत् तत् असत् इति चिन्त्यताम् if sat is removed from akasha akashasya स्वभावद्वयम् अस्ति इति पूर्वं दृष्टवन्तः अवकाशः इति एकः स्वभावः अन्यः स्वभावः अस्तित्वम् अस्तित्वम् इत्युक्ते सतः पृथक्कारे when सत् is separated किम् अवशिष्यते व्योम्नि आकाशे किमपि अवकाशात्मकं तत् अवशिष्यते इति चेत् तत् असत् इति चिन्त्यताम् minus sat what is left in akasha is when existence is removed avakashatmakam what avakashatmakam when sat is not there it has to be asat न इति पूर्वपक्षी वदति भिन्नं सतः भिन्नं व्योम किन्तु न असत् इति पूर्वपक्षी वदति चेत् तर्हि व्याहति दोषः भवति पूर्वपर विरोधः भवति सतः भिन्नं व्योम किन्तु न असत् कथं भवति न भवति व्याहतिः इति it is different from sat at the same time not asat it is meaningless different from sat it is not sat therefore asat but asat asti non-existent exist it is self-contradictory so therefore vyagatihi tava vyagatihi iti The 70th shloka, beautifully it is presented. Bhati iti chet bhatu nama. Bhati, pratiyate. Bhatu, let it shine. Yat bhasamanam, yat asat bhasamanam bhavati, tat nitya bhavati. Asat bhasamanam va abhasamanam va. Abhasamanam asat ityukte tucham. Abhasamanam asat is tucham, absolutely non-existent. We cannot talk about it because it is absolutely non-existent. You cannot talk about absolute non-existent thing. Only you can talk about bhasamanam sat, pratiyamanam sat. Yata swapna gajadivat, swapne gajaha, yagraha, ityadeha, bhavati tadvat. Bhasamanam asat, bhasamanam asat ityukte nitya, nitya iti arthaha. Beautiful definition for mithya. So it is not absolutely non-existent. Why? Because absolute non-existence cannot be talked about. It has to be existent. At the same time, is it really existent? No, because it is subject to negation. In the wake of knowledge, it is negated. Badhyata. If it is not there, if it is really not there, it is not pratiyeta. So therefore, we cannot categorize it as sat or asat. If it is sat, it's not asat, then it is bhasamanam asat. It is in between, so no categorical classification possible. That's why bhasamanam asat. Bhasamanam asat means mithya. We need to remember we are doing apavada of the akasha. Adhyaropaha kritaha dharim apavadaha. In the apavada, the last step is to understand. Apavada is done, all is done cognitively. So apavada is done to understand the mithyatva. After reversing the dharma dharmi status, we have seen. After reversing the dharma dharmi status, the swapping the dharma dharmi status, we understand things mixing up wrongly. We understand things wrongly. Now, after Viveka, reversing the dharma dharmitva status given to Vyat and Sat, that is giving the dharmi status to Vyat, dharma status to Akasha, we understand that Vyat is Mithya, Sat is Satyam. So Vyat, now Vyat, from the Vyat, Sataha Pratakari, if Astitvam, Sat is removed, Kimatmakam Drugi Akashaha iti, Avakashavatmakam Sat iti chet, then it has to be Asat. If Asat iti Chintyata, Purupakshi says, no, it is not Asat, it is Sataha Bindam Kintu na Asat. If it is not Asat, then Vyahati. Therefore, there is no other choice. The Purupakshi has to accept it is Asat. Akasha is Asat. Now, Kidrishaha, Kidrisham Asat, because there are two types of Asat. Bhasamanam Asat, Abhasamanam Asat. Abhasamanam Asat doesn't shine at all. Na bhati eva. Because it doesn't exist. It is Tucham. As Swamiji says jokingly, Gagabuga. Gagabuga doesn't exist. Even Gagabuga, when the moment you say something, it exists, but doesn't mean anything. Gagabuga, Kachapuchas, it's all just sound. At least Nama is there, but Rupa is not there. At least that moment when you utter, it just gains the status of existence, but it doesn't mean anything. Tucham. So that which is absolutely non-existent, you cannot talk about it all. Therefore, Abhasamanam Masat, which is Tucham, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist, therefore you cannot talk about it. Therefore, it is Bhasamanam Asat. Bhasamanam Asat is Maya Bhushanam. It is a Bhushanam of Maya, therefore it is Mithya. So that which is Sat, at the same time, which is shines. which is asat. At the same time, it is bhati. Therefore, bhasamanam asat. Tan mitya, tat mitya, sapna, gajadivata iti. Dream objects are asat. Swapna jagat is asat. Swapna jagat is asat. At the same time, it bhati appears for swapna purusha, for the one who dreams. For the dreamer, it appears. Bhati eva. Asat kintu bhati. Therefore, bhasamanam asat. Nitya. That's why we dismiss swapna as nitya when we wake up, not in the swapna. Swapna is pratibhasika reality. That is negated in the standpoint of Vyavaharika. When the dreamer wakes up and becomes a waker, then the dreamer is gone, dream is gone. Nitya. But this is difficult for a Vidyarthi, the Shishyas to understand. Sat is independent at the same time. It is inseparably it is associated with Vyat. That is why we do the Viveka, Apavada. Therefore, because Sat is independent at the same time, inseparably mixed with Vyat, we start with Vyat. Similarly, Akash, after Akasha, after Vyat, Vayuga, Apaha, Prithvi, then the entire Jagat. Because of the inseparable association, the Shishya, the students are not able to separate it because they are inseparably together. Therefore, first step is Pratak Karanam. That's why Pratak Kari. Pratak Karanam. It is difficult to understand together because they are inseparably together, therefore difficult to understand, therefore Pratak Karanam. He wants to see them separately. The student wants to separate them and see them separately. How is it possible? The author says, such situations are there even in the day-to-day life. He gives some examples. Certain things are mixed up so closely, inseparably, it is very difficult to understand separately. It is not only in the case of Sat and Vyat, there are many such situations even in the day-to-day life, like what he said in the next shloka. Let us read. Jyati vyakti dehi dego gunadravye yatha pratak.
Jati vyakti dehi deho gunadravye yatha pratak.
Vyat satos tathi vastu parthakyam kotra vismayah.
Viyat satos tataivastu parthakyam kotra vismayah.
Jati vyakti, jatihi cha vyaktihi cha jati vyakti taritra dandvaha. Deha cha dehi cha deha dehi gunam cha dravyam cha gunadravyi vyat cha sat cha vyat sato tayoho vyat satoho. Satta आकाशे यद्यपि आकाशे उपलभ्यते तथापि सतः भिन्नः आकाशः यथा जाति व्यक्ति इत्यादयः तद्वत्. The Pratak Karanam and understanding. The Pratak Karanam problem is explained through Drishtanta. Not only here, Pratak Karanam. There are many places where you see this. Like the Gata is there. Gata. Gatatvam and Gataha. So, Gatatvam. Gatatvam is jati. Yasmin gatatva dharmaha asti. Sa vyakti. So, jati vyakti. So, vyakti is that gatatva dharmaha is vyakti. Gatatvam is jati. You can call a pot when it has potness. So, potness is there, therefore pot is. Pot is vyakti. The potness gatatva dharmaha. Gatatvam, that is jati. So gatatvayoho. Gatatvayoho. Gatatvayoho saha upalabhyamanatve. Api yadyapi loke atapi binna eva bhavati. The gata and gatatva dharma and gatatva dharma and gata. These two are inseparably together. These cannot be physically separated. Things that are not physically separable, but can be separately understood. Like what? Like the Drishtanta here, Acharya says, Jati Vyakti Ityadyaha. Here, two things are mixed up. At the same time, one can understand by buddhi, by seeing through, one can understand them separately. Similarly, when we understand the Drishtanta, the same thing can be extended into the Dashtanta. Separate understanding of Sat and Akasha, even though they are inseparably together, it is possible. How if he has, like Jati Vyakti Ityadyaha, Jati, as I said, the Gatatva Dharmaha, for example, Drishtanta, or Vrikshatva, anything. So if you take tree is an independent, is a member of treeness and tree. They cannot be separated. Treeness is not there in a pot. Treeness is not there in water. So treeness and therefore tree. Yatra vrikshatvam asti, vrikshatva dharmaha asti, sa vyaktihi bhavati. So treeness is jati. Treeness is there in tree, vyakti. So therefore they are always together. They're always together. Jati Vyakti. Jati Vyakti is a language of the logician. Therefore, that's why here the Jaranamuni uses the Jati Vyakti. Because the logicians, they ask all these questions, therefore, to make them see that even the Jati Vyakti, the technical term, there, Vyakti is that which possesses that dharma. It's called Vyakti. We classify species based on what? Based on Jati. We say Mriga Jati because Mrigatvam is the Mriga Jati. Pakshi Jati. Pakshitvam is there, Pakshi Jati. Pakshitvam is not there in Mriga, or Mrigatvam is not there in Pakshi. So when Pakshi Jati is there, in that Pakshi, there are many birds, cuckoo, etc. Kokilaha. So Kokila is a Pakshi. Vyagraha is not a Pakshi. So in the Kokila, Pakshitvam and the Pakshi. So Jati, the Kokila belongs to the Jati, Pakshi Jati, and it is a Vyakti. As an individual member of that group, it is a Vyakti. Can you separate them? Can you separate Jati Vyakti? Not possible. Similarly, Vyagraha belongs to Mriga Jati, particular species, and Vyagraha is a Vyakti. Can you separate Vyagra from its Jati? You cannot separate. You cannot separate. Similarly, there's one Drishtanta. Similarly, Dehi Deho. What happens with the Jiva after Maranam? He goes to the Sarga Loka. The physical body doesn't go. Swargaloka, provided the person has punya, therefore Swarga, otherwise Naraka, whatever the loka. Physical body, does it go? No, it doesn't. He has to leave the physical body here. But the jiva and the body are physically inseparable while living. The jiva and his body, deha. Jiva, dehi. The body, deha. They are inseparable. But we understand them separately. How? After Manam, the jiva goes to the loka, respective loka, whatever the loka. Degi, dehau. So, deha is that in which degi is the. Two things are mixed up. But we understand separately. Dehi, in fact, Gita, Dehi Nityam Avadyoyam, Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. Mixed up, but we understand. Similarly, Guna Dravya, Guna, the quality, and substance, they are also inseparable, but we are separate understanding. Visheshana Visheshya, we understand. Neelam Utpalam, Neelam is color, Utpalam, the lily. The adjective and the substantive, they are separately understood. So, yata, Jati Vyakti, Dehi Deho, Gunadravye, yata, Prutak, tata eva vyachatoho. When you can understand these things separately. The same way you can understand Sat and Vyat also. Even though they are inseparable, separate understanding is possible. Cognitively, you can separate and understand. That is possible. You cannot separate them physically and understand. Not possible. But cognition, it's purely a cognitive process. Therefore, Jati Vyakti Dehi Deho Gunadrive Yatha Prutak Avagamanam Bhavati Tadvati Vyachatoho Api Tata Eva Astu Atrapi Partakyam. Partakyam is Prutak Karana. Prutak Partakyam is Prutasya Bhavaha, the status of being separable. Prutasya Bhavaha Bhavati Kaha Atra Vismayaha. Kaka Vismayaha. So therefore, cognitively one can understand. Don't try to separate them physically, not possible. Even the physical separation and therefore experience is not possible. Even understanding, you are saying understanding them cognitively. It is not an experience. It is understanding. Physical separation is possible, therefore physical experience is not possible. Understanding only is possible, but understanding also is not an experience. You have to understand Sat as Sat, Vyat as Vyat. They are inseparably together, but understanding is possible. Again, it is not an experience because it's only understanding. Mityatam is not a Vastu. If Mityatam also a Vastu, then you can separate them understand. It is not a Vastu. Therefore, Sataha Pratak Kare. When Sat is separated, Jagat, Jagati Kim Avashishyate. Akashe Kim Avashishyate. Kimatmakam iti Purvam Prashnaka Kriyate. Tata Jagati. Jagati Kim Avashishyate. Jagat, Vasamanam Jagat, Asat Eva. There is no reality given to Jagat. This Viveka is possible even when the pure Satis cannot be separated physically from Vyat. It is possible. Like Jati Vyakti, Dehi Deho, Gunadravye, when there it is possible to separate understanding, why not here? Even though they are all physically inseparable, but we understand them separately in our Vyavahara. Similarly, Vyat Satoho, Tata Eva Astu Partakyam, Pratasya Bhavaha, Vyat and Sat are different. Understanding them as separate, understanding them as different as possible. Therefore, Sat is different from Vyat. This is Pratak. This is what Pratak Karnam is. This is Partakyam. Atra Kaha Vismayaha. Yata Jati Vyaktischa Dehi Deho Gunadravya Tata Pratak Bhavati Tata Eva Atra Pivyat Satoho. Sataha, therefore, they are separate. Atra Kaha Vismayaha Aksheparte Prashtaha. Atra Vismayaha Ascharyaha Nasti Ityartaha. Kaha Vismayaha. What is a surprise here? Kim Ascharya Matra Vyachatoho Pratak Karanam. भवति एव यथा तत्र तेषां विषये तद्वत् अत्रापि इति अतः व्यसति अतः व्यत्सत् वस्तुनोः भेदः भवितुमर्हति अतः तत्र पृथक्करणं बुद्ध्या पृथक्कृत्य तस्य ज्ञानं भवितुम् अर्हति एव इति even in our famous drishtanta gata pot and clay we say pot is mithya. Why this pot is mithya we say? Because the the pot pot changes. Pot is not shashvata. Pot is broken. Now it is no more a pot. And pot is further, it is made into pieces. Gone. It is not there. But in and through that, the isness continues. So even though pot is broken, but the isness continues. It just continues. Partners goes, isness continues. So what keeps on going is the isness. Isness is always there. Body is, the same thing can be extended. Body is, mind is, isness always is there. It is invariably is. It is not changing. It is not objectifiable. Even when pot goes, Sat is there, pure Sat is there. Therefore, this Sat is not available for objectification. It's not available for any pramana, any objectification. Any pramana means it's a Shastra pramana. Shastram says therefore it is. Not available for any other pramana. Nama Rupa comes and goes. Sat is not a Nama Rupa. Sat is always there. In fact, Nama Rupa is the isness is there, therefore Nama Rupa is. Nama Rupa therefore comes and goes, changes, but isness always continues. And that Sat, the Sat is what is with Chit. Now this is to be understood by the Shishya, Vidyarthi. But the problem with the Vidyarthi is even he understands, but there's a problem of retention, dharana Shakti is lacking. Therefore, here the author gives the solution for this problem also. The problem is because of Adhikari Veda. The problem is because of Adhikari Veda. We need two things, Grahana, Dharana, Shakti. Having learned so many Shastras, still it is not understood, the Tattvam is not understood because it is of these two problems, reception and retention. Grahana, Dharana, Shakti, that is in Veda Suttam. For Uttamadhikari, meaning that one who has Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, both are there. Therefore, the moment he hears the Shruti Vakya, Jnanam happens. Of course, for the person who comes in the Vedic tradition, the tradition takes care of the Adhikaritvam, therefore he is able to receive Upadesha and retain Upadesha, understand Upadesha and retain Upadesha. But what about the other, the Madhyamadhikari, Ardhamadhikari? The reception, some people have reception, but retention not there. Some people reception also not there, retention also not there. Therefore, the next shloka, the author addresses this problem of the student. So first is how to separate them is a question generally asked by the students. How to separate them and understand. When it is possible in Jati, Vyakti, etc. Here also it is possible. Now, in spite of having talked about so much, but why not able to retain this? Because there is Adhikari Veda. So therefore, why this happened, the problem and the solution for the problem. It is said in the next shloka. Now here, the Tikakara says, Nanu niyamena saha upalabhya manayoho vedaha na drishtachara iti ashankyaha jati iti. Niyamena saha upalabhya manayoho. Saha upalabhya manayoho sattaviyat. एतन् सत् उपलभ्यमानो तत्र दृष्टान्तचर इति दृष्टचर इति आशंक्याः जाति इति दृष्टान्तात् the author explains that is उपलभ्यमानत्वे अपि यथा घटत्वयोः जाति व्यक्त्योः देहि देहयोः गुणद्रव्ययोः उपलभ्यमानत्वे अपि तथापि भिन्ने एव तेषां पार्थिक्यं पृथक् भावः तेषां पार्थक्य पृथक्त्वं ज्ञातुं शक्यते तथापि अत्र इति उपलभ्यमानयोः even though they are together उपलभ्यमानत्वे अपि together available inseparable तथापि भेदः अस्ति एव तयोः यथा जाति व्यक्ति इत्यादौ ज्ञातुं शक्यते तत्र जाति व्यक्ति तयोः भेदः अस्ति देही देहौ तयोः भेदः अस्ति द्रव्ययोः भेदः अस्ति तथा एव वेचतोः अपि भेदः अस्ति तथा विस्मयः नास्ति इति यद्यपि even though we give all these drishtanta and say now why the not understanding this avagamanam doesn't happen in the mind of the student that Acharya addresses. Now he brings in he brings in he raises he assumes that student is not understanding. Of course, this Grantha is not for Uttamadhikari. Uttamadhikari, because Uttamadhikari is Uttama, the moment he hears Satuttamasi, then Jnana happens. Therefore, it is only for the, in fact, Madhyamadhikari, not even for Adhamadhikari. Adhikari Vedaha Asti, Uttama, Madhyama, and Adhama. Adhamadhikari, we need not talk about Adhama. But he is Adhikari. He struggles. So he has a problem, both the problem, reception as well as retention. Whereas with Madhyamadhikari, majority will come under the category. So the problem he addresses. This problem is that therefore only it's not able to cognitively understand them separately because there is always a hunting for experience. Our whole orientation is the world is experience, anubhava. That which is experience alone we accept. But in this case, it is not like that. It is ever experienced. This ever experience is what to be understood. Generally understanding and then experience, the loka. But here it is experience, ever experiencer myself. But the knowledge of that follows. So generally, knowledge precedes experience. But here it is experience precedes knowledge. So Atma is not something which is to be experienced because it is a very experiencer, but the knowledge of what is sought after. So it is knowledge follows the experience. Experience, I use experiences in the sense of anubhava, that is, it is anubhuti, not in the literal sense, experiencing an object. Atma is not an object. So it is atmanubhuti. It is ever experienced, atmanubhuti. It is not something which is to be real. It is ever realized, but it has been known. So knowledge follows. So therefore, since the orientation in the world is knowledge and then experience. So with that orientation, the student approaches Shastram also. Therefore, he finds difficulty in understanding this. And then in addition to that, there are some deficiencies also. Gagana Shakti, Dharana Shakti. Therefore, the author addresses them. Addresses the student. Now the next shloka is addressing the Shishyas. Addressing the Shishya with the solution for the problems what they face. The problem is not able to cognize them separately, even if it is not able to retain it. Even through Shastra, the difference, the separation is done, but when it comes to Vyavahara, it is back to square one. The same samsari, not able to retain what is taught, what is studied. So therefore, that the author addresses here. The problem has to be known, then only the solution is. First is understanding itself is a problem, and understanding is with the help of drishtanta, understanding with the help of prakriya, like adhyaropa apavada is done. Understanding is possible. In spite of understanding, then there are always some doubts with regard to Shastra, with regard to Pramanam, and also the not able to retain this understanding when it comes to real application in Vyavahara. Jnanamasti, but when it comes to Vyavahara, again samsari. The same good old, the person, he comes before. So therefore, what is the solution for this problem? Because there is Veda, there is a deficiency in the Adhikaritvam. Therefore, it has to be addressed. Therefore, it is not the problem with the teaching or the Prakriya, it is a problem with the Adhikari. Pratakkaranam physically not possible. It has been done cognitively. When the person able to do it, able to appreciate this, but still the problem, if the problem continues, then where the problem is, why the problem is, what is the solution for the problem? The problem is not in the teacher, or not problem is not in the pramanam, problem is not in the prakriya, the problem is with finally it is with the adhikari only. And what is the problem should be understood first. Then only the solution for the problem. That what the Acharya says in the next shloka. Let us read. Buddhopi vedano chitte nirudhyam yati chet tada.
बुद्धोऽपि
बुद्धोऽपि
भेदो
भेदो नो चित्ते निरुध्याति
याति
तदा
चेतदा
अनैकाग्र्या संशयाद्वा रूढ्यभावोऽस्य ते वद.
अनैकाग्र्या
अनैकाग्र्या
संशयाद्वारूढ्यभावोऽस्य ते
भावोऽस्य ते
वद.
वद.
Somehow the teacher has made the student understand the Sat as different from Vyat. Able to show Sat as separate from Vyat. Show means not physically, cognitively it is shown. Sad Vyatoho Vedaha Pradashitaha Shishyenapi Avagataha Bhavati. Tatapi, this Vedaha, the difference. If Veda is so clear, in Vyavahara there will not be problem. But what happens? Tatapi Buddha Ayam Vedaha Nishchitaya na Bhavati. Therefore, Granthakara says, why? Kutaha Bhavati. Kutaha Jnanam na Jayate. Kutaha Tatra Karanadvayam asti. One is Ekagrata Abhavaha, Anyaha Samshayaha. Vedaha Buddhaha api. Chitte Nirudim no yati. Said Tada Rudya Bhavaha Anekagriyat Samshayatva Tevada. Veda is Buddhaha. Vedaha is difference. The difference between Sat and Vyat. Only when the difference is understood, then only Vyat can be seen and can be understood as Vidya and dismissed. Therefore, what is there is only Sat. Now, Buddhaha, Vedaha. Vedaha is Buddha. Buddhaha means Avagataha ityatra. Buddha to Mishta Pratyaya. Buddhaha means not Buddha. Avagataha. Vedaha Avagataha. The difference is understood. Can be only understood. It cannot be experienced. Because Akasha and Vyat are ever associated. inseparably associated, but a Veda can be understood. And Shishya understands. Therefore, he says Vedaha, Buddhaha. Vedaha, Buddhaha, the difference is understood. Whatever the teacher says, I understand. Kintu chitte nirudim no yati. No means now, no yati. यद्यपि अवगतः किन्तु चित्ते बुद्धौ निरूढिं निश्चय निरूढिं इस् निश्चय ज्ञानं न भवति निश्चयं न याति गच्छति निश्चय ज्ञानं न भवति it doesn't get established in the buddhi even though I understand them as separately because you have teaching through a lot of drishtanta therefore I understand but this knowledge is not established strongly in the buddhi. It doesn't take root in the mind. Na yati. Nishchitam na yati. Chitte. Virudim na yati. Shed. That is a problem. Shed. That is a problem of the. So this is as though the student says. Tadavada. Then please tell me the problem. The author asks, says, what's the problem then? Either it should be because of anekagriyat. Ekagatayaha bhavaha anekagriyam. Anekagriyat means not ekagra. Ekagratayaha abhavaha anekagriyaha tasmat. That is one reason. There is no ekagra. Na ekagam. Ekam agre. Yasya. Ekam agre asti. Tasya bhavaha ekagriyam. Na ekagriyam anekagriyam. Tasmat anekagriyat. So anekagriyat is one reason. There is no focus of the mind. Second thing is Dvitiya karanam samshaya. Samshayadva. There is no clear knowledge. Anekagriya samshayadva. Rudya bhavaha. Nischaya. Rudya bhavaha is not able to understand Nischaya. Nischayasya abhavaha. Not able to firmly understand. Rudya bhavaha. Nischayasya abhavaha. Absence of. So clear understanding is not possible because of these two reasons, anekagriyam or samshaya. Tevada. Please tell me, because of anekagriya, do you have this problem, anekagriya, that is absence of ekagrata or samshaya? Tevada. So doubt is there because there is no conviction. Why doubt is there? Ekagriya is problem is because of lack of focus, is because the mind is scattered. The preparation not been done, upasana, etc. not been done. Japa, etc. not been done, the person has not prepared. If you remember the Adhikari in the definition of as per Vedantasara, there it is clearly, it is said that the Chitta Naishchalya, which is accomplished through upasana, Nitanta Nirmala Swantaha. Antakarna is Nitanta Nirmala Swantaha and Chitta and Ekagratapi. The mind is made one pointed, not Vikshepa. Vikshepa is a problem. So that is why there is a separate chapter, Dhyana Yoga in the Gita also. Dhyanam is Vijatiya Anantarita Sajati Vritti Pravaha. And the same Dhyanam, if it is Saguna Brahma Vyaparaha, then it is Upasana. If it is Nirguna Brahma Manasa Vyaparaha, it is Dhyasana. So to start with, we start with Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyaparaha, Dhyanam, Upasana. Then after Vedanta, it becomes Nidhyasana. So Dhyanam, that Ekagrata is important. So that is number one. Next one is Samshaya. Samshaya is much important. Why? Because Samshaya Atma Vinashyati. Now the doubt is there. Why? Because there is no conviction. Why conviction is not there? Because we want confirmation what the Shruti says from other pramana. We seek validation from other pramana, pratyakshadi pramana. We want scientific confirmation for what Shruti says. Because in what Shruti says, I always have a doubt. So I want that to be corroborated by science and by other pramana. Total Shraddha is not there. When total Shraddha is not there, such doubts will come. And to ask for scientific corroboration or other pramana, it is absurd. Because the very definition of pramanam is anadhigata, abhadita, arthavati jnana janakam pramanam. If science corroborates, other pramana corroborates, then Shastram is not a pramanam. Shastram is the only pramanam for Sat Chit. There is no other pramanam. Other pramanam has no scope. Since the student doesn't have Shraddha, total Shraddha, therefore he asks for some other pramanam to corroborate this, and therefore samshaya always will be lingering. But there cannot be any confirmation from other pramana, because one cannot seek for what Shruti says through other pramana. It is not possible, because Shruti itself is a pramana. Therefore, pramana nishchaya is important, essential. Every pramana is independent. A pramana cannot validate another pramana. Then it is not a pramana. Eyes can see only. It cannot validate sound. Ears can only hear sound. It cannot see. Doesn't have visual perception. It cannot validate the color of a flower. Similarly, here also, Shastra is a pramanam. So I want to validate it by myself. By thinking, by making my buddhi aligning with the Shruti. So, therefore, since this is lacking, and also many people think Vedanta is Paroksha Pramanam. Vedanta is Paroksha Pramanam, and therefore, after study and in meditation, it has to be converted into Aparoksha Jnanam. In the beginning, Shastra gives Jnanam, and what Jnanam? Paroksha Jnanam. And that Paroksha Jnanam should be converted into Aparoksha Jnanam. How? By meditation. And they say, sister chapter Gita is, Bhagavan says, how to convert the Paroksha Jnanam into Aparoksha Jnanam. Of what? Of Atma. Atma is it Paroksha, which is Nitya Paroksha, where there is conversion of Paroksha to Aparoksha. All these are orientations. Therefore, this orientation, and therefore we say the Shraddha is not there in what the Shastram says. All these, therefore, they have to be removed. These are the Pratibandha. These are the mind as obstacles at different levels. The impurity of the mind, that is one, at one level, that is a Pratibandha, the Mala. And another level, lack of concentration, lack of understanding this, not able to see things clearly. That is why for the preparation, there are sadhana like Karma Yoga, Upasana, ityadi. But what Shruti says, that we cannot verify by another pramana. That must be clear. Therefore, Shastra is the only pramana, and therefore, samshaya with regard to Shastra has to go. If one has understanding what Shastra says, and could not able to retain what Shastra said, it is because of anekagriya. Anekagriyam. Anekagriyam is the mind is not focused. Anekagriyam. Therefore, Vedaha Buddhaha api, Vedaha, even though it is Buddhaha Avagataha, the distinction between Sat and Akasha is Buddhaha Avagataha. The Vedaha is Sat is Satyam, Vyat is Mithya, Iti Chitte Nirudim, Na Yati Chetada, Anekagriya Samshayadva, Rudyabhavaha. Tasmat Karanam Anekagriyatve Anekagriyatva Samshayadva iti. Ekagrata, not the no ekagrata, anekagrata, scattered. The Acharya helps the student to find the problem. whether anekagriyam va samshayam va. Samshayam means looking for confirmation from other pramana or from one's own experience, anubhava. What Shastra says, it is not something a new experience. It is not one of the experience or it is not new experience. So therefore, these can be only two possibilities. One is pramana, and with regard to samshaya, one is pramana asambhava, other one is pramaya asambhava. Samshaya with regard to the doubts. Pramana asambhava is doubt regarding the Tatparya Vedanta. Whether the Shastra really talks about the Vastu is Dvaitam or Advaitam or Vishishta Advaitam. There are also, because there are Dvaitavadi, Advaitavadi, Vishishta Advaitavadi. They also interpret the same Shastra, Upanishad, Gita, and they say the Tatparya of Gita, the Shruti is Dvaitam, and some say it is Advaitam, some say Vishishta Advaitam. So there is no clarity about what the Pramana says, because each one says one thing. And also there are mantras like the Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakaya, as we saw in Mundaka. There are also Dva, Do, Suparna, two things are talked about. And in fact, the Dvaitavadis, they quote this in support of Dvaitam. And Gita, we have Sulokam, Mamevamsham Jivaloke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. That shloka, in fact, Vishishta Advaiti, they quotes. The same Shruti quoted by different people. Therefore, there is Pramana, Asambhava. Asambhavana, the doubt is possible. Pramana, this Shastra need not be a Pramana, could not be a Pramana. The doubt can come, doubt may creep in. So therefore, and added to that Pura Mimamsaka, other Darshana, if you take Pura Mimamsa, they say Karma is a Tatparya of the Veda. The entire Veda as its Tatparyam only in doing Karma only. Pura Mimamsa is not a simple Shastram, it is a well systematized Shastram. So for them, Karma is a Tatparya. Amna yasya kriya tattvat anarthakyam adadattana. The Jaimini Sutra. Any other statement of the Shruti, other than the statement talking about karma, other statements are not talking karma, they are anartha. Every statement of the Shruti is intended only in ascertaining karma only. Any other statement, if you see, they are anartha. They are useless, they say. Amna yasya vedasya, amna yasya kriyartatva, anarthakyam, anarthakyam atadatthanam. Other than that, any other statement of the Shruti, any other means any other than emphasizing karma, they are all anartha. Anarthakyam iti Puramimamsa, anarthakyam. So therefore, so many people, different darshana, or they all study the same shastra, from same shastra, they extract the meaning and they present. Therefore, naturally, a student gets confounded when he studies all. So this doubt, which is natural, for pramana asambhava and prameya asambhava also, with regard to what Shruti says, is that really Brahma, or just simply we are talking about Brahma iti? This doubt will be there. Doubt also two types. Pramana asambhavana, prameya asambhavana. With regard to doubt, with regard to Shastra being the pramanam, and with regard to prameya, what a Shastra reveals, that also. Shastra, because with regard to pramana asambhava, that because of our previous orientation, therefore we doubt Shastra. And with regard to prameya, what the Shastra reveals, there are other people, so many people talking differently about the same Shastra, that Tatparyas are presented differently. Therefore, prameya asambhava. So therefore, doubt is a serious pratibandha. So this doubt has to be handled. How? It has to be handled only by Shravanam. Only by Shravanam, by applying this linga, Shadlinga, and Arabata Tatparya Nirnaya. The tradition has got the method applying Shadlinga. By applying Shadlinga and the arriving at the Tatparya, and then Prameya Asambhavana. By that Prameya Asambhavana is Prameya Asambhavanayaha Nivrittihi Bhavati. And with regard to what Shastram says, what Shastra says is not negated by any other Praman. That also must be very clear. What Pramanam should be understood. Therefore, Shastra Anukula, the Buddhi, the Vritti should be there. And if at all any doubt is there with regard to the Vastu, that has to be cleared only by Shravanam again. Punas Punaha, Punas Punyam Shravanam Kuryat. So therefore, the Pramana Asambhava is by Shravanam, Punas Punaha Shravanam, by listening to the Shastram again and again, so that one get conviction with regard to what one gets conviction with regard to the Shastram as a Pramanam. And Prameya Asambhava is that doubt, that obstacle, that pratibandha is removed by Mananam, Prameya Asambhava. That is why Manana Grantha like Panchadasi, etc. we study. Prameya Asambhavana Nivrittihi. Nivrityartham eva Panchadashi Ityadeha. So Prameya Asambhava by Yukti, by reasoning, by Shruti Yukta, Shruti Anukula logic. Shrutikula Tarka Anusandhiyatam. Shruti Anukula Tarkaha Anusandhiyatam. So therefore that Mananam. So Vedanta doesn't dismiss Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha or any other Pramana, everything has its scope. So therefore there is no contradiction between Pramana. So what Shastra says, it belongs to a different thing, where the other Pramana has no scope. That should be clear. Like we understand the dream and the waking, they are not same. They are different orders of reality. Similarly, Shastram, other Pramanam also. We should know when to operate what Pramanam. So as we don't doubt our eyes for ascertaining the color or the form of a thing, a flower, similarly, we should not doubt Shastra. That is the Shraddha in the Shastram. So Pramana Asambhava can be removed only by Shravanam. By repeated listening, you get conviction. And so many acharyas in the tradition, they talk, they're not ordinary people, they're all great genius, they're all jnanis. And Prameya Asambhava, that is natural, that is removed by Yukti, by Yukti, by reasoning. And logical reasoning, that logical reasoning also with this Shruti Anukula, not it is Shushka Tarka. That's what we call Mananam. In fact, repeated Shravanam itself becomes Mananam. So every time it's not just a listening, you listen and you think about that. So listening means it involves thinking also. You think about that, not just swallowing. If anything which seems to be contradictory, then and there you resolve it in your mind. Even if it doesn't get resolved, then in the beginning, you give the benefit of doubt. Again, come back and read after some time. Or when you listen to other Shruti, this doubt may get resolved. The doubt which remains unresolved when you listen to one particular Shruti may get resolved when you listen to the other Shruti, or maybe the same Shruti when you listen back again. Possible. So, therefore, even for Mananam, it is suggested Paunaf Punya Shravanam. Even for Samshaya Nivritti, Mananam, and Mananam in the form of Paunaf Punya Shravanam. So therefore, the Samshaya, which is poses a great obstacle, Pratibandha for the sadhaka, that has to be handled. So there are two reasons, Karana Dvayam, Anekagriyam and Samshaya. Anekagriyatva, Samshayatva. The Acharya here, for both the problems, he just highlighted the problem. For both the problems, he gives a solution also. What should you do if you have the problem of Anekagriyam? Or if you have the problem of Samshaya? What should be done? He said in the next shloka, let us read. Apramatto bhavad dhyanad Adye Adyesmin Vivechanam.
अप्रमत्तो भवद्ध्यानादाध्ये यस्मिन्
यस्मिन्
विवेचनम्
विवेचनम्
Kuru Pramana Yuktivyam Tato Rutatamo Bhavet.
कुरु
कुरु
प्रमाणयुक्तिभ्यां ततो
प्रमाणयुक्तिभ्यां ततो
रूढतमो
तमो
भवेत्
भवेत्
Dhyanat Adye. Okay. Apramatto Bhava Dhyanat Adye Anyasmin Vivechanam. Apramatto Bhava Kuru Pramana Yuktivyam Tato Rudatamaha Bhavet. Bhavet link Bhavet Bhavati. Rudatamaha Bhavati. Adye is Adya Karanam, Pratama Karanam, which is Pratama Pradibandha Anekagriyam. So Ekagratayaha Abhavaha. That is the Adye. That can be resolved by Dhyanam. Dhyanam is Vijatiya Anantarita Sajatiya Vritti Pravagaha Dhyanam. Focusing the mind. Apramattaha Pramada Ragitaha San Dhyanat Adye iti. Anyasmin the second one. Dvitiya Karanam, which is Samshaya. Dvitiya Tatra Pramana Yuktibhyam. Pramana Yuktibhyam. Pramana is Pratyakshadi Pramanehi Yukti. Tarka, Yukti, logic. Vyam Tataha Rudatamaha Bhavet. Rudatamaha Chita Pragyam Rudatamaha Druda Nishchitam Bhavet. So Adya Pratibandha, Adya, this the first problem, which is Anekagriya, that is handled by Dhyanam. Second problem, which is Samshaya, that is handled by Pramana Yuktibhyam. Pramana and Yukti. Shastram and Yukti. Yukti the Tarka. Tarka in keeping with the Shastra. Therefore, Shruti Anukula Tarkena. So, therefore, Yukti is important. We are not asking to swallow things. Yukti, apply logic, but logic should be in keeping with the Shastra. Even Pratyakshadi also we can take Yukti. There also the logic is logic. But when it comes to certain things, then we have to apply only. We cannot apply Shushka Tarka. That is the idea. It should not be Shushka Tarka. It is Shruti Anukula Tarka. Then Vivechanam Kuryam. Vivechanam is Vichirdatu, Pratak Karanam, Partakyam. Same thing Vivechanam. Vivechanam Kuru, Karoto iti. Then Hakim Bhavati Rodatamaha Bhavati. By that you become strongly established in this knowledge. So, therefore, there will not be the problem of retaining this. Retention problem is because of understanding this superficially, to make it firm, therefore, by Mananam and by Dhyanam. So, therefore, Shravanam, Mananam, Dhyanam. That is what the Acharya establishes. Well, Shravanam is the first process, followed by Mananam. Why Mananam? Because Samshaya is there. Because of Samshaya only this Dridajnanam Nabhavati, therefore Samshaya to be handled. That is by Pramana Yuktibhyam, that is Pramana Yuktibhyam, that is Mananam. And after Mananam, once we get strong conviction in what the Shastra says, there is no Pramana Asambhavana, Prameya Asambhavana, then Dhyanam. And that is Nididhyasanam. Here it is Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam, where the object of the Dhyaya Vishaya is oneself, Atma. That if it is the object of Dhyanam, if it is Saguna Brahma, then it is Dhyanam, just mere Dhyanam. If the object of meditation is Brahma, then it is Nididhyasanam. Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam is Nididhyasanam. Saguna Brahma Dhyanam is Dhyanam. Same chapter Gita in both ways can be interpreted as a means for Vedanta, for Chitta Nischalata Praptihi, or after Shravanam Mananam, it's a means for making the knowledge steady. So Nididhyasanam, both ways. The shlokas are like that, can be interpreted in both ways because the process being same. Therefore, the Upadeshas are also the same only. So therefore, here the Acharya says, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. They are the part of the Anga. Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. So Tera Apramattaha Bhave, Apramattaha Bhava. Pramattaha na Pramattaha Apramattaha. Pramatta Ragitaha. We will see. We'll see further. Then next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಜ್ಜಿ.
धन्यवाद.